Hello friends, my name is Ari Thurger and today I'm going to talk about the rune Kaunas, Kenaz or Ken and other variations of the same rune. It literally means torch. This is a rune linked to creativity. It is a source of light, inspiration, hope and passion. It is the light that keeps darkness at bay. The torch is a symbol of knowledge and intellect, illumination, searching for enlightenment, giving enthusiasm in teaching and learning. It is the flame of knowledge, and as it is often said, knowledge is power. This rune symbolizes the knowledge handed on from generation to generation, which is why the words Kaunas and Ken are related to the words kin and kindred. This is the fire rune, but fire under human control and harnessing fire for warmth and illumination. Fire is connected to creation, as I've told you when I have spoken about the rune Fehu, the power of transformation and the power to create. But the fire that Kenaz represents is the fire we control to create things for ourselves, the power we have to create with our abilities, skills, creativity, and combined with the fire element, we become more than mere beasts. In prehistoric times, it was precisely because of the ability to control fire that we started to evolve rapidly. Fire kept the beasts of the night away, afraid to come closer. Fire gave us protection and warmth. It allowed us to cook food, changing our diets and behavior. Fire was the reason our ancestors started to form communities, gathering around the fire. People from different parts of the prehistoric landscape with their own stories to tell, sharing knowledge around the fire and that knowledge being spread from place to place every time there was fire, which led people to gather around it. Since this is a rune connected to the ability and the will to generate and create, this is also a rune for artists and craftsmen, but also connected to the technical aspects of magic, the importance of controlling energy, and fire is energy. Creation also means creating life, a third life form, from the combination of two polarities, two opposites bound together, and this union brings life into manifestation. Therefore, this is a rune which is also associated with human passion, lust and sexual love, liquid fire in our veins which gives us vitality, liveliness, energy, and almost uncontrollable power. Now let's talk about the mythology around this rune so we can better understand its essence and how our ancestors explained through metaphors the power of the runes. Let's start with the creation aspect of this rune. The Norse mythology starts with the cosmic context of fire. Fire plays an important role in the creation of the cosmos. It is one of the two primal elements of creation. The fire which comes from Muspelheim, the world of fire, colliding with the world of ice, Niflheim, and this collision sparks the beginning of life, the Norse version of the Big Bang Theory. None lives in Muspelheim except those who were born into it, the fire giants. It is a dangerous place, no mortals dare to go. Fire is dangerous, but on the other hand, Midgard, the realm of mankind, was believed to owe its temperate and life-sustaining atmosphere to the delicate balance between the primal forces of fire and ice. So fire was also considered to be life-sustaining in its positive aspect. Now, the knowledge and protection aspects of this rune. As I have said, humanity's mastery of fire was a great step towards evolution, a source of power given by the gods themselves, as we read in many myths. In Norse mythology, Thor gave fire to humans, a god associated with the oak tree and lightning, probably indicating the very first myth of how fire was introduced to humans, coming from the sky. A great lightning bolt made an oak tree explode and tiny bits of the tree aflame were used to make the first fires. With fire, many possibilities were suddenly open, and probably one of the most important was using fire to reclaim space from darkness. Before the ability to use fire, the world was much wilder and terrifying, especially during long dark nights. Before we learned how to make fire on demand, fire was probably kept burning all the time, watched, and having to constantly feed it so not to lose this source of power and illumination. Preserving the flame was taken with great care, and it must have taken on sacred associations, ritualistic acts even. Fire ensured the protection of the community, which is why fire and this rune are also associated with the god Heimdall, the protector of Asgard, the watchful guardian, the beacon of light. Heimdall is known as the shining god, personified by the torch. Bonfires and beacons lit on mountaintops in order to pass on news and warnings were likewise associated with Heimdall and the rune Kaunas. Now let's talk about the meaning of this rune in its upright position when it appears in a rune reading. On personal levels, this rune stands for warmth, friendship and love, what lies within our hearts. The purest feelings, the liquid fire of passion, is the path to happiness. The knowledge of the heart can be felt in both a physical and a mental sense. One may be passionate about a person or a subject, for instance, and when this rune appears in a rune reading, the concept of passion and of knowledge are often strangely mixed together. What lies within your heart can come forth, but be wise about it. The start of a consuming love affair or the spark of a meaningful relationship may teach both parties useful things about life. Spiritually, this rune represents enlightenment, the brightness of the spirit and of the mind. You may be walking through dark paths, a hard time in your life, so use your spiritual strength, use your knowledge as a torch to guide you through these dark roads. This is a rune of clarity and to disperse the obscurity that has overshadowed some part of your life. This rune will lead you to a new path of discovery. You may feel touched by a clarity of vision that you have never experienced before. Now the meaning of this rune in its inverted position in a rune reading. The rune reveals the destructive side of fire. Fire is bright, but brightness burns, not just literally, but in terms of love and friendship. Love hurts. Maybe in your life you are starting to see that the flame of love is already burning low. Maybe it's time to seek another source of flame. Nurturing a new light when you find it will bring illumination back into your life. A loss of love, friendship and old loyalties are foretold when this rune appears inverted. You may feel abandoned, drifting in a tide of melancholy and sadness, but remember that this rune is associated with learning and some lessons are hard ones. It is inevitable. It's part of your evolution. It's time to let go of the past and move on. Trust time to reveal all things. The lessons you need to learn will become evident to you and you will soon find the right path. Sometimes we must dwell in the void for a time, in an empty time between what we had and the uncertainty of the future. In these times of emptiness, use your wisdom to develop your inner stability and don't let yourself be seduced by the moment of the past, by the sweet memories that will never return, while waiting for the new gift to light up at the right moment. The past may be that which is preventing you to move forward, perhaps because you are thinking that the past can continue to be part of the present and even part of the future as it was before. And while you wait for that which does not happen again, you remain trapped in the moment of emptiness. Alright, dear friends, I hope you have enjoyed this video. Remember that humility is the prime requirement of a good student. Thank you so much for watching. See you on the next video And of course, tack för idag!